Stop scrolling. This message may be the answer you've been praying for. What if I told you that the mountain standing in front of you isn't there to destroy you? It's there to show you how powerful your God really is. Maybe you're exhausted. Maybe you've prayed the same prayer over and over again. Maybe you've cried when no one was watching. Maybe you've reached the point where you're wondering, God, are you still with me? If that's you, don't leave. Because before this message ends, I believe your faith will be stronger than your fear. The Bible declares in Luke 1:37, "For with God nothing shall be impossible." Not some things, not a few things, nothing. Nothing is impossible for the God who created the heavens and the earth. The same God who spoke and light burst into existence. The same God who formed mountains with his hands. The same God who placed every star in the sky is the same God who is watching over your life today. So why are you believing your problem is bigger than your God? Your situation may look impossible. Your bank account may be empty. Your body may be sick. Your family may be falling apart. Your dreams may seem dead. But God's power has never been limited by human circumstances. People see impossibility. God sees opportunity. People see an ending. God sees a new beginning. People count their weaknesses. God counts his promises. Remember Abraham. God promised him a son, but years passed. Nothing happened. His body grew old. Sarah grew old. Humanly speaking, the promise was impossible. Every calendar page that turned seemed to whisper, "It's too late." Every birthday reminded them of what they still didn't have. Imagine the questions. Did we misunderstand God? Did he forget us? Was the promise ever real? But God's promises are never controlled by human timing. Just because God is silent doesn't mean God is absent. Just because you're waiting doesn't mean God has forgotten you. When the time was exactly right, God did what no human being could do. Sarah gave birth to Isaac, not because it was medically possible, but because God had spoken. When God makes a promise, he also has the power to fulfill it. Maybe today you're living between the promise and the miracle. Don't quit in the waiting season. Seeds grow underground before anyone sees them. God often works in places your eyes cannot reach. While you think nothing is happening, he is preparing everything. Every delay has a purpose. Every closed door has a reason. Every unanswered prayer is shaping your faith. You may not understand his timing, but you can trust his heart. The God who kept Abraham's promise is still keeping promises today. So don't let doubt speak louder than faith. Don't allow fear to become the voice you follow. Lift your eyes. Look beyond your circumstances. Look to the one who has never failed. Because with God, nothing, absolutely nothing, is impossible. Take a moment. Think about the battles you've already survived. There were seasons when you thought you wouldn't make it, nights when your pillow knew your tears, days when you smiled in front of people while your heart was quietly breaking. Yet, here you are, still standing, still breathing, still alive. That alone is proof that God has been carrying you all along. Sometimes we ask God to remove every obstacle, but often God chooses to strengthen us instead. Because faith doesn't grow when everything is easy. Faith grows when you choose to trust God, even when you don't understand him. Look at Moses. God called him to lead the Israelites out of Egypt, but standing between them and freedom was the Red Sea. Behind them, Pharaoh's army was closing in. In front of them, an impossible barrier. To the left, nowhere to go. To the right, nowhere to run. Every direction looked hopeless. The people panicked. They cried out in fear. Some even wished they had never left Egypt. But Moses didn't place his confidence in the sea. He placed his confidence in God. When God spoke, everything changed. The sea didn't remain an obstacle. It became a pathway. The waters stood like walls. Dry ground appeared where there had been none. The same place that looked impossible became the place where God displayed his power. Listen carefully. Your Red Sea is not the end of your story. It is the stage where God can reveal his glory. What looks impossible to you is completely possible for him. Then think about David, a young shepherd, no armor, no military training, no impressive appearance, standing before a giant that had terrified an entire nation. Everyone else measured Goliath by his size. David measured Goliath by the greatness of his God. Others said, he's too big to defeat. David believed he's too big to miss. One stone, one act of faith, one moment of courage, and the giant fell. Why? Because victory was never about David's strength. It was always about God's power. Maybe today you're facing your own giant. A sickness, a broken relationship, financial hardship, depression, fear, an impossible dream. Don't spend your life staring at the giant. Start looking at God. The bigger God becomes in your heart, the smaller your fears become. Remember, giants don't last forever. God does. The same God who helped David is with you today. He has not changed. His love has not changed. His power has not changed. His promises have not changed. And he has not forgotten your name. So don't give up. Don't stop praying. Don't stop believing, because your breakthrough may be closer than you think. Sometimes God is doing his greatest work just before your greatest miracle. Trust him, even when you can't see him. Believe him, even when you don't understand him. Walk by faith, not by sight, because with God, nothing, absolutely nothing, is impossible.